293 days, 4 families. Every single one brought him back. They called this 150-pound cane Corso dangerous, uncontrollable, too much. Then, a 26-year-old woman living alone on a rural property in Asheville walked past his kennel. She wasn't looking for a dog. She was looking for a reason to feel something again. And what Nero did 6 weeks later, on her kitchen floor at 2 a.m., proved every single one of those 4 families wrong. 293 days, 4 families. Every single one brought him back. Too aggressive, too powerful, too much dog. That's what they said about a 150-pound black cane Corso sitting in Kennel 7 at Riverside Animal Rescue in Asheville, North Carolina. His name was Nero. His coat was the color of midnight. His head was the size of a cinder block. And his eyes, amber, unblinking, ancient-looking, had watched 4 separate families walk out of that shelter without him and never come back. Emma Hartwell was 26 years old when she walked past that kennel on a Tuesday afternoon in March. She wasn't looking for a dog. She was looking for a reason to feel something again. She had moved to a small rural property outside Asheville 8 months earlier, after a version of her life she no longer recognized collapsed quietly and completely. No dramatic ending, just one morning she woke up and understood that the person she had been building everything with was already gone in every way that mattered. She kept the house, she kept the horse, a paint named Oliver she fed every morning at 6:45 in a field that felt enormous when you were standing in it alone. She kept going, that's what she told herself, just keep going. She wasn't struggling, that's what she told herself too. The shelter coordinator, a man named Greg, gave her the honest version. Nero had been surrendered at 2 years old when his original owner moved to an apartment. The first family lasted 4 days, said he leaned against them constantly and knocked a lamp off the table on day 1. The second kept him 9 days, said he followed them everywhere and it felt suffocating. The third returned him after 3 weeks with a form that said only too large. The fourth drove him back at 7 a.m. on a Sunday and didn't come inside. Greg said, "He's not aggressive. He has never bitten anyone. He just needs to be somebody's entire world. Not everyone can give that." Emma looked at Nero. Nero looked at Emma. He was sitting perfectly still in the back corner of his kennel, not barking, not pacing, just watching her the way something watches you when it has already made its decision and is simply waiting for you to catch up. She signed the papers 22 minutes later. The first week was chaos with very good manners. Nero walked into Emma's house and immediately claimed the left half of the couch, not the center, always the left, leaving her a 14-inch strip of cushion she accepted without negotiation. He followed her into every room. He sat outside the bathroom door with his chin flat against the floor gap and simply waited. He weighed 150 pounds and moved through her house like he had always lived there and was gently reminding her of the floor plan she had apparently forgotten. He had one rule about mornings. Every day at 6:15, before Emma was fully awake, he would walk to her bedroom doorway and stand completely still until she opened her eyes. Not barking, just there. 150 pounds of patience that said, in a language that needed no translation, "I'm here. We have things to do." Oliver, the horse, took 3 full days before he stopped snorting every time Nero appeared in the field. By day 4, they had reached an arrangement. Nobody negotiated. Every morning, Nero walked the perimeter of the property, slow, deliberate, then positioned himself exactly 3 feet to Emma's left while she fed Oliver. Not between them, never crowding, just stationed, like he had drawn a map of this place on his first walk and marked every position that needed someone standing in it. The horse, the woman, the field. All of it accounted for. Emma's neighbor told her she was making a mistake. Her mother called twice that first week. A woman at the hardware store crossed the parking lot to avoid them. Emma stopped explaining herself after day 5. If you've made it this far and still haven't subscribed, that honestly stings a little. Stories like this don't get told often enough. Hit subscribe, you'll want to see where this goes. Here's what almost no one knows about cane Corsos. They were bred in ancient Rome to guard estates, to stand between their families and whatever came for them in the dark. That instinct doesn't disappear over centuries, it just changes shape. And Nero had spent 293 days in a concrete kennel looking for something worth protecting. He found it. 6 weeks after the adoption, Emma had a bad night. Not the first since the move. She had gotten good at managing them, the 2 a.m. kind, when your chest tightens and your brain starts cycling through every loss and every choice that brought you there. She sat on the kitchen floor with her back against the cabinet and cried. Not loudly, just the way people cry when they've gotten used to doing it without an audience. Nero came in before she heard him move. He didn't bark, he didn't circle. He walked across the kitchen at the exact pace of someone who already knows what they're going to do. He lowered his 150-pound body onto the floor beside her, pressed the full weight of his enormous head directly against the center of her chest, and held completely still. Not squirming, not demanding, just his weight, his warmth, the sound of his breathing, slow, deep, even, until hers began to match it. Emma sat on that kitchen floor for 39 minutes. Nero did not move once. It happened again 3 weeks later, after a phone call that reopened something she thought had finally closed. Same quiet entry, same spot, the center of her chest, same steady breathing, like he carried a protocol inside him that had been running long before she ever opened the kennel door. She installed a security camera in October after a neighbor 2 streets over reported someone checking car door handles at night. Motion activated, pointed at the front hallway. She wasn't thinking about Nero when she put it up. She found the footage 6 weeks later by accident. Every night at 3:09 a.m., Nero stood up from his side of the couch. He walked to the front door and held completely still for 14 seconds, ears forward, body locked. Then the back door, then the window at the end of the hall, then the entrance to Emma's bedroom, where he paused for 11 seconds and listened, then back to his spot on the couch. 4 minutes and 8 seconds every single night, without variation, without a sound, while the rest of the house slept without knowing it was happening. Emma watched the footage 4 times in a row at 6 a.m. Her coffee went cold on the counter. He had been doing it since week 1. Some people see a 150-pound cane Corso and do a quick calculation. They see the jaw, the mass, the way he fills a door frame and makes grown adults reconsider their route through a room. They cross the street, they pull their kids closer. They don't see what Emma sees. They don't see the dog who decided on day 1 that this property, this woman, this horse, this life quietly trying to rebuild itself was his to protect with everything he had. They don't see the dog who walks a silent perimeter every night at 3:09 while Emma sleeps, who stations himself exactly 3 feet to her left every single morning, who still presses his head against the center of her chest when the world gets too loud. Nero is 3 years old now. He still owns the left side of the couch. Oliver no longer snorts. Emma's neighbor came by last month, stood at the fence, and watched Nero sit beside Emma in the field in silence for a long moment. She said quietly, "I had him completely wrong." Emma smiled. Most people do. 4 families returned him. They all used the same word, too much. They were right. He was exactly too much. 150 pounds of too much loyalty, too much presence, too much quiet, relentless love that had decided one woman alone on a kitchen floor at 2 a.m. deserved someone who would not leave. Some dogs don't need training to know their job. They just need someone to open the door. Would you have given him a 5th chance? Tell me in the comments.